So, good afternoon. We are back a lot earlier than normal. Normally, we do this in the evening, but in the evening, there is a game of football on because BT Sport have decided that they own the rights to the football, so they can put it on when they want. But we are going to talk about this manager getting a new contract. We're also going to talk about that pathetic song that's going to be sung tomorrow at the ground in the huddle, the team huddle. That ridiculous song. They're trying to rewrite history. But Jez, how are you, mate? How you been? How's your week been?
All good, all good. Still in a state of shock from the announcement yesterday morning. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I've just got no faith in this club at all now. Absolutely none. It's rotten to the core. But we got to suffer it for the next time. Well, at least another year, I guess, and see where we go from there. But it's getting to the point now that I just laugh about it. I do. I think, what the fuck? You know? There we are. There we go. So we'll see.
Yep. And Kenny, how you been, mate?
Well, the thing about it is that when I heard about it, I was aghast. You know, people keep on telling me, but come on, everyone should know it's going to happen. Yeah, of course you knew it happened. There's a lot of things you know are going to happen. Doesn't mean that when it happens, you're going to not react to it in a way that you're expected to react, which is bemusement, anger, disappointment, all three emotions that I'm suffering at the moment. You know, and I'm seriously worried about the club's ambitions because the DNA of this football club should never, ever, ever change to the extent that we should be challenged for league. People come out for all sorts of historical reasons and say, yeah, but we're not as big as Chelsea and Man City. And I think that is the bastardisation. Basically, they're bastardising their great name by saying that. They don't mean to do it because they're young and they see success, albeit via huge investment by these two clubs. But they're bigger than Arsenal. Not at all. I will never, ever accept Man City's success and Chelsea's success as a way of lowering ambitions. I'll never accept it. As you know, tomorrow is going to be like the anniversary, 16-year anniversary of us moving from Highbury, our last game at Highbury against Wigan Athletic. 16 years later, 16 years later, we're at Emirates Stadium where we've added 22,000 every home game, where we've got extra revenue. We were the first team to build a new stadium. We've been, for most of that time during the Emirates, for the first 11 years, we're in the Champions League. So we've made pots of money. So in that terms of expenditure, we've done it organically. We should still be able to compete. What's gone wrong? Why? What has happened? It can't be just the fact that we've been outflanked by City and Chelsea. No, I'm not accepting that. Never accept the way things are. And anyway, Lee, my physician has got back to me just to check on you to see if you're okay about an announcement, and I'm going to report to everyone on Twitter that you're in fact okay, and that you haven't taken like I said, more ample amounts of your subscription because Arteta's the new manager. You're still alive and kicking, mate.
I'm still alive and well. Vitamin D settings. My tan's coming on strong. The beaches are lovely. Life's good, mate. People are more worried about me than celebrating Arteta's new deal. Hence why I was trending on Twitter all day yesterday. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's actually insane how much I trigger people. Yeah, it's like, I ain't stopping you supporting him, am I? Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. But before we talk about this manager, I want to talk about this song. Yeah, this guy, tomorrow, the song is going to be played while the team are in their huddle. Mate, we've been here, done this before with that Thomas Partey song. And against Leicester City, when he made his debut and we came out to that song, and then we went on to lose 1-0, Jamie Vardy. Yeah, what is it with this football club and gimmicks? Like, because for me, that song's a load of trash anyway. Yeah, absolute bollocks. It should never be played at the ground. Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit if, excuse me, if that football club actually wrote the song and that guy's connected to someone at the football club. Yeah, it would not surprise me one bit. It's all about PR. It's all about the backstory of this guy. Oh, I'm an Arsenal fan. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I wanted to make it like a chant. Mate, no disrespect, but we've got chants. We've got an anthem. What's going on here? Like, does that mean you can go and write a song and get it played? Yeah, why this guy? Yeah, for me, something not right with this. It's fishy.
I think it's social media. I think what it is that I didn't take any notice of it because I'm just about the football. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't taken notice of the song about the football, but you know, and I don't do Twitter that much. The only time I do Twitter is to you know, G my boys up during the game and to talk about me boxing and react to any question that people ask me about boxing or the Arsenal or football in general. That's what, you know, you should be there for, to interact. And it, you know, I think I've had my, you know, fill of, you know, creating interactions myself, or rather someone else do it. But in terms of this song, it's definitely backed by social media. You know, the club have got a social media channel on Twitter and they've got a social media channel on Facebook. And this has been like heavily pushed because the title in it is North London Forever. So, when you use words like North London Forever, because you're not mentioning the song, they're comparing it to Walk Alone, which is a Liverpool anthem. And I suppose Celtic have adopted it as well. And I think that's what Arsenal want something for themselves, Arsenal fans in general. I don't know what the club feel about it, but they've embraced it because, you know, everyone wants to be popular. Everyone wants to be seen doing the right thing. And, you know, we're at this sort of PR push where everyone's trying to, you know, look for the club's identity. I thought the club's identity was set in stone. I mean, we've got a Latin emblem, you know, Victoria Concordia Crescit. I mean, that should be enough for our identity. But for some reason,
they took that identity away, mate, to appeal to a more global audience.
It would definitely, but surely, but surely, if you've got a global audience, surely our cousins from abroad should be interested in our great club, and they should be talking about history. Jez does a great job in trying to, you know, get Arsenal fans to talk about our history from the beginning. And our history started in 1886, hence the Latin emblem. So in terms of trying to push this song, it's a North London thing. And I think maybe some fans think, right, if we get there first, Spurs can't nick it. So the fact that he emphasises he's from the Popham estate is the angel.
Just in that itself.
So it's a locality thing. And, you know, this guy, he's not a pork chop, is he? If he's got Arsenal fans pushing his song, and, you know, at the end of the day, he's a professional musician, he's going to run with it. And the club, you know, they got this new PR guru woman. She would have pushed for that as well. It's win-win. Whether I'm going to sing or not, I sing for Arsenal and Arsenal only. I'll sing for my great club. You know, I haven't heard the song. I'd like to hear it. And after this podcast, I'll give it a go. But what's going to happen right now? We are in a kind of an era where everything is led by people who shout the loudest, and the people who shout the loudest have pushed this song, Lee.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you know, it's certain faces, certain things. Like, you know, it's like when Josh Kroenke says he wants to speak to fans and that. Yeah, it's always the same type of fan. Why don't Josh Kroenke get off his ass and walk in the Tollenon, or walk in the 12 pins, or actually go and walk around the stadium after a game? Yeah, because then you're not just going to get the opinions of a couple of pompous people, yeah, that are sitting in a fans forum asking premeditated questions that they've already filtered anyway. Yeah, like for me, I just like, this whole football club stinks, and the culture, yeah, the ethos of this football club that was dead and buried the day we moved into this stadium, right? And you're right what you said a minute ago, like, you know, the culture and you know, everything about the club. Well, I thought Mikel Arteta had changed that. Yeah, because that's all we've heard for 3 years nearly. Mikel Arteta has changed the culture. He's changed this. He's changed that. Now we've recruited a company to actually come in and do a top to bottom review on why the culture is lacking and what's wrong with the club. Now all of a sudden, this guy pops up out of nowhere with a song that everyone's latched onto and is now going to be played tomorrow at the ground. Sorry, mate, this just stinks. Yeah, good luck to the guy. Fair play to him. Like you said, he's going to run with it. But for me, there's something fishy with that, man. 100%. I'm not convinced that this is just how, like, the guy had a couple of hundred followers, and all of a sudden, bang, he's blown up. How is that even possible? Yeah, got no reach on social media at all, but now all of a sudden he's at the football club. Nah, I ain't having it, man.
Arsenal fans have done it. You've got to remember one thing, right? Arsenal fans, they're very, very powerful. If they want something to do well, it won't do well. Hence the fact, I know we talk about it every week, but look, Arsenal fans have been trying to break you, but you're not breakable. The reason why you're not breakable is because you've got people like me and Jez on the channel. We are real, bona fide Arsenal fans. No matter how much you hate me, hate Jez, and obviously hate you, but mostly me and Jez, you can't deny All we have to do is go into our rooms, any of the houses we left, and all you'll see all Arsenal memorabilia. You'll see photos of all these great games. You can't take it away from us. People want to interact with me and Jess because we are Arsenal. We may not be your type of Arsenal, but you cannot deny that we have the heart, fabric and heart of this football club in our hearts, and then we actually can prove it by attendance at matches. Now, the fan cams, they're easy to break because the fan cams, sadly and foolishly, ignore people like me, you and Jess, real Arsenal fans, and went for stars. So what will happen is that Arsenal fans are going to keep on hitting at that foundation, hitting that statue with a brick, with hammers, with baseball bats, and eventually going to break its foundations. Hence the fact it's not relevant no more. They lost too many characters. They've got actors in now, and Arsenal fans have smashed it to pieces because they say, in words to the effect, and basically they're saying, read my lips, you lot do not represent us. We do not want you. And they say it loudly.
100%, mate. 100%. What do you think of the song, Jez?
Shit. I think it's an embarrassment. I honestly think it's an embarrassment. I think this club is becoming an embarrassment. We've lost all credibility at this football club now. What used to be the classy Arsenal, that's dead and buried. Forget all that. I just, honestly, I was chatting on Warren's show yesterday afternoon. We were talking about my experiences as being around Arsenal, and I said to him, I have never ever in all my life, even in the bad times of the 70s when Arsenal were playing with relegation, it wasn't like this. You didn't get all this split in the fan base. What is it? I just don't get what the hype is over this guy, this manager. I just don't see it. I must be missing something. I really must, because I just don't get it. It pisses me off that people are so deluded or blinkered about what this guy is going to possibly achieve. I mean, other people that, all right, if we get fourth, we'll possibly get in the Champions League, yeah? Okay, all great. Be nice to be back in Europe. But he's going to have a war chest, a massive war chest, to get this team to be able to compete at that level. And I'm sorry, I don't see that happening. I don't see that. 120 to 150 million is not enough to get this team, the 5 new players of quality. And I don't mean average, I mean top level quality, to get to compete against the likes of Bayern Munich, PSG, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and all that lot. It ain't going to happen.
Because we're not going there to compete. We're going there for the extra revenue, is what I keep hearing. The extra revenue.
The idea is we compete to win.
That's what it's supposed to be. But unfortunately, mate, Arsene Wenger's legacy is what we have now. Fourth is the trophy. Yeah, and there's millions and millions of fans globally and in the UK, that have latched on to Arsenal because of a gold trophy, right? Which is cool. Yeah, but then they probably weren't that old when it happened. They've then made excuses for the guy for a decade too long, which then caused friction in the fan base at games, people fighting in the stands. Kenny, we've seen that direct. Fans fighting. Wenger in and Wenger out. It's all having a punch up every week. Yeah, and it's like, you've got to give him more time. Look at what he's done for the club. Well, fast forward 5 years, this is what he's done for the club, by the way, because it's now a fan base that have seen next to fuck all trophy-wise, probably never seen a title win. And if they have, it's only one. Yeah. And now it's a case of, well, it don't matter about winning the title because it's all about Champions League. Yeah. Well, no, it's not, is it? It's actually about winning the title, which is why we smashed the stadium down. But unfortunately, the majority of our fans online weren't born when we were starting to smash that stadium down. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, when we moved into the Emirates, like you said, it's the anniversary tomorrow. Yeah, of the last game and all of that. Yeah, that was 18 fucking years ago, wasn't it? 16 years, something like that. 16 years ago. Yeah, mate. Our fans online, the majority of them are probably 25 and under. Do you know what I mean? It's like they've grown up on that Wenger era, that back end of it, where he just lied through his teeth every week. Yeah, and lowered the standards. We can't compete financially. Chelsea have ruined the market. Man City was Sheikh Mansour. Yeah, poor Arsenal, poor Arsenal. Oh, look at us. We can't compete. We're doing it the classy way. All of that crap. Yeah, now fast forward all these years later, when that's been bedded into their brains every single week from that man, yeah, and then we win the odd FA Cup here and there, they're satisfied with that. Yeah, and then people like us get ostracized because we actually hold the club to what they fucking told us when they were smashing that stadium down. We are moving to compete with the best in the world. Yeah, how many times? And this is why I get with the narrative of Champions League can get you this and that. Yeah, right. Oh, but we have to get Champions League so we can compete. Arteta said it yesterday. Yeah, he's saying it. Fans are saying it. Well, we have to get Champions League to compete. Okay, we had it for 20 years. How many times did we compete for it? Twice. How many times did we compete for a title in that 20 years? 6, 7 times?
Yeah,
we won it 3 times, and maybe another 4 times after that we competed. So this idea of you have to get top 4 to compete, well, we weren't doing it with a better manager and better players. So what makes anyone think that this guy is suddenly going to get us on that Liverpool and Man City level, yeah, and compete in the Champions League? Can you imagine, like, next season, yeah, if we do get Champions League, a group that consists of fucking PSG and Inter Milan? Because that's what we can end up with. Bayern and Barcelona in the same group. I don't think people have thought it through. Yeah, and Jez is right. We need to spend a lot of money with this manager to even get us to competing on 2 games a week. He can barely compete on 1 game a week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Can you imagine Mbappe up against fucking Ben White? Oh my fucking days. Yeah, it is going to get.
Yeah, but the thing about it, right, is that one of the reasons my conditions for being a Champions League and why I differ from both of you is because the thing about it, right, is that when you watch a lot of people speak about football, not just Arsenal, but people in general, they think that, you know, certain situations within the game, within the club's finances and the club's transfer market or the evolution is something new. I mean, football doesn't change at all. Like, for instance, people say, "Oh, Klopp," try and compare a Klopp and that we can't do what Klopp did. Well, Klopp wasn't stupid. Look at the team he had when he first got the job, when Brendan Rodgers was sacked after the Merseyside derby when we beat Man United 3-0. That team evolved. So what I'm calling for is an evolution. A lot of these Arsenal fans have an unreal attachment to certain players who are just not good enough for his football club. I mean, Eddie Nketiah has played very good football. He's played very well, and he's been hungry since the Chelsea game. Now we're having pork chops saying we should keep him. But if we're gonna get the Holy Grail and we're gonna get Champions League football, then Eddie Nketiah ain't gonna win you the league or get you in the semi-finals of the Champions League. So you tell him to get stuffed. Mohamed Elneny, who we praise wholeheartedly, right, isn't going to get us on top 4. So we evolve. And my conditions for Arsenal's evolution is to get the top class players. And if that means saying to Tommy Ashley, you know what, mate, I'm sorry, mate, but Max Aaron's is going to give us a bit more of that right hand side and create more chances for our new attackers who we're going to buy. So I'm sorry, mate, you'll just have to be his understudy. That's football. If we generally think that, despite the fact that we think very highly of Smith Rowe and Saka, but if we feel there's someone better than them who can take us that league, then fine. It's tough luck. You don't find attachments. You've got to be ruthless in this game. And that's one of the reasons why you guys are disquiet about the Champions League, is because you've been there before, where you've seen us being a links for a player, and then they end up at Man City, then up at Chelsea, then up at Man United. We can't have that. And that's why we have to move quickly and spend the money that Jez was saying. When we're talking 6 or 7 players, and if people want Arsenal to compete with the big boys, don't shut us down and say this is unrealistic. You either want us to compete or you don't. If you don't want us to compete, you want it to be like this, that's fine. Then we just be like Don Howe and Terry Neal in the 80s. I was all right with that. I was a kid. I didn't know any better. We can go back there if you want, but I'm not going to accept it. But you can. So don't say on the one hand you want us to, Arteta should stay because we're in the Champions League. You should be satisfied, because we weren't satisfied when we were holding up banners to get rid of Arsene Wenger,
Exactly.
making ourselves available to the nearest journalist and to Sky Sports and making sure we got seen on Sky Sports, which I was holding the banners up because he was fourth then.
Mate, I was actually
What
on the
good enough
Wenger
then? Why is it good enough
documentary that
now?
they played to Wenger in beIN Sports Studio. I was holding the fucking banner over the armory, and Wenger was sat in the studio. I think it was with Andy Gray or someone, watching me hold the banner.
Yeah.
It's like
And that's
we did all of that, Kenny. We did the marches and all of that, yeah, and the
We wanted
protests.
to win the league.
Because
wanted to
the
win the
idea
league.
was he was holding us back, yeah, because we moved and he lowered the standards. We moved stadium, he lowered the standards. And the narrative that was pushed out, which again, the people say that the media and the mainstream have got it in for Arsenal and everyone's against Arsenal. Complete and utter bollocks, right? Because all Sky Sports did for the whole time we moved to that stadium was peddle the fact that we had to sell our best players to pay that stadium off. Yeah, Gary Neville sat there and said, "Oh yeah, but listen, you got to understand, they're paying the stadium off. It's nearly paid off." Blah 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 blah. Well, it weren't nearly paid off, was it? Because the Conkeys refinanced 240 million quid of it the other month, the other year, right? So it weren't even halfway paid off when Gary Neville, Sky Sports were peddling that rubbish out to millions. So everyone's going, "Oh yeah, look, Arsenal's keeping them in the top four. He's selling Van Persie. He's selling all the best players, but they're paying the stadium off." Well, we weren't though, were we? So where did all the money go? Because that Champions League qualification every season meant that that stadium was paid. Yeah, the payment every year was paid. So where did all that money go? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Where's all the money gone? Yeah, and then when you question that as a Wenger out, it was fucking punch-ups and rows at football. Yeah, now it's, oh yeah, let's just get top four again. I'm sorry, mate. Look at this team I've put on the screen, yeah? This was Jurgen Klopp's first ever starting 11 for Liverpool. Look at the state of that. Yeah, the following season he sold Coutinho and brought in Van Dijk and the goalkeeper, Alisson. Yeah, but look at the state of that team. There's only two players that are still at that football club.
Yeah.
There's only two.
Origi and Milner.
Yeah. The rest of them ain't there. And this is the thing, right? If you add up how much their squad cost compared to our squad, when we played them the other week in the League Cup, the second leg, their squad costs 40 odd million quid more than ours. So how comes they've got a squad that is light years ahead of ours and it only costs 40 million quid more? How is that even possible?
Yeah, good point. Good
Right?
point.
And this is why I get the ump with it. If you actually go and get a proper manager, let's say Jurgen Klopp came to Arsenal in the summer just gone. Do you think he would have done that 250 on players like Ben White and fucking Odegaard? Yeah? And Tommy Asu? Like, come on, turn it in. Yeah,
if he got those players, sorry, cut you. If he got those players, a tenor says that within the season they'll be ready. They'll be challenging because he's a good coach. Let's not talk. We talk about Klopp and the names he got. Let's not forget he is a superb coach with a superb motivator. Now I know that right. Mikel Arteta is a very good coach. There's no doubt about that. The Man City players say so. However, he's a team manager. He's not a good team manager because what he's done is he's surrounded himself with people who are yes men and youngsters. All right, you cannot win things with yes men and youngsters. You cannot. You know how I describe Mikel Arteta, and this is disrespectful, not disrespectful, right? Played for David Moyes, played for Arsene Wenger, worked under Pep Guardiola, but he's only got traits of two of them. When it comes to micromanagement and trying to control the players' behaviour on and off the field, and generally their careers, that's Pep. When it comes to falling out of players who disobey him, that's Pep. The whole other air force of football is David Moyes. And what we've been seeing is David Moyes football, where people accuse Unai Emery of giving your opposition too much respect and being a safety first team. Well, that's Arteta football. Now, there's nothing wrong with it because so far it's got us to fourth place. But you think that garbage is going to make us compete, and this man is going to get us to that level. And remember, when I say this man, it's not personal. It's because at the end of the day, it's not him taking off the board in their decision. Then I think people are mistaken because what do they want? They either want Arsenal to compete or they don't. Because if they don't, then they should say so. If they do, and they're still supporting this and not pushing for anything else, and they're just going to do what I did. Because remember, I was on a show last year on a channel. Dan was on top of it, and we had an ex-footballer. We had someone from the USA, although the person was from my neck of the woods in Finsbury Park. We had someone from Virginia, and we had a certain person who runs a big channel. And that person who ran the big channel, along with the ex-player, was saying that we couldn't even compete with Leicester.
Yeah.
That's the level. That is the level. That is the level of things we've been getting, and that we should be lucky. And that was when we were at our worst. So that is the mentality that has been carried on to this day. Not one of them are actually going to say Arsenal's profit the league. What they're going to do is say we're deluded and unrealistic, and it can't happen overnight. They'll be saying that in 3 years' time, mate.
But this is where they contradict themselves, Kenny. Yeah, because I see this all the time, right? Rome wasn't built in a day. You can't do it overnight. Oh, really? How did this fucker win an FA Cup overnight then with Unai Emery's team? How did he do that then? Yeah. So when they sit there and say, well, you can't just compete. Well, he did. He won the FA Cup in his first half season. Yeah. This was his first ever starting 11, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's have a look. Yeah. 2.5 years later, how many are still here? Leno, Maitland-Niles is still at the club on loan. Saka, Torreira, Xhaka, Nelson, Lacazette, Smith-Rowe, Guendouzi until the end of the season, and Pepe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them players are still here 2.5 years later. If that was Jurgen Klopp, how many of them would still be here? Because for me, I'm not being funny, right? when you hear this narrative of it took Liverpool 4 years, coming back to the song as well, right? You said, Kenny, that it's like a Liverpool-esque type thing. It's like we want to.
Well, they want it to be. They want it to be.
But this is why I find it even funnier, right? Because this fucking fan base, yeah, online on that Twitter app for years before Liverpool won a title, called them victims. Yeah, look at the state of them. They're always the victims. Yeah, always something wrong. Blah blah blah. This and that. Yeah, look at the state of them. They're all standing there, LA, when they drew with West Brom and all of that. Yeah, right. Then they want to sit there and compare us and compare Arteta to Klopp. Why? I thought you'd have thought they were the victims, right? But then they sit there and say Klopp 4 years. Well, let me tell you something. Yeah, make sure you've all got your ears pricked up for this. At this point in Jurgen Klopp's tenure, i.e., the same time that this manager's been in charge of Arsenal, Jurgen Klopp was in a Champions League final. Yeah. Champions League final. Yeah, and barring fucking Salah getting injured in that final, yeah, they probably would have gone on and had a fucking chance in it. Do you know what I'm saying? He got injured in the first 7 minutes when Ramos pulled him down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so they might have had a chance, but this is the thing, like, people forget when they want to compare us to Liverpool, yeah, it's chalk and cheese. Yeah, but yes, we've both got American owners. Yes, both of the owners don't dip money out of their own pocket into the football clubs. Yeah, I think the only money Liverpool's owners have spent is on that new stand. Yeah, I don't think they've actually invested their own money in, right? Which, let's be real, why should they? It's a self-sufficient business, yeah, which is what Arsenal is. Yeah, so why should Stan Kroenke dip his money out of his pocket into the club?
It's a risk, though. I was speaking to my brother yesterday, and I said one thing about Arsenal. They said, yeah, we still got a lot of overseas fans. We're still getting a lot of, merchandise. And I said, well, you've got to look at Chelsea, right? Chelsea are not a bigger club than Arsenal. But you've got to remember one thing. Sponsors, TV people, and I mean TV companies and business, and even businesses, which I suppose is a bit of tautology because sponsors come under that as well. They only want to be associated with successful clubs. And I think that the more successful you are as a football club, the more merchandise you're going to be. Chelsea have made themselves the most valuable club in London above us because they win trophies, and they don't win the League Cup, the FA Cup. They win the Champions League, and they've won the league more recent than we have. And what I'm trying to say is that we can't keep on relying on our reputation. Thierry Henry, to a lot of people in London, Ian Wright, Arsene Wenger, Robert Pires. we've got to have something sustainable. We've got to be winning trophies. Hence the fact that we should be getting players who can win us a league and get a manager who's capable of moulding us and evolving us in a way that Jurgen Klopp has evolved us. Because you spoke about Salah in the 2018 European Cup final. He was their one and only match winner. Now, 2 years, a season afterwards, they became a better team. And now, this three years after they won the Champions League, they become a better side where they evolved and evolved. And that's what I want for Arsenal Football Club. And that's why
this is where I think people want to do that comparison, because Klopp got in there. He had a shit squad that he inherited. He got to the Europa League final, League Cup final, lost them both. This manager comes in, gets us to a final and wins it. Then he then takes them forward into a Champions League, gets them in a title race. Yeah, changes over time. Yeah, and this is where people are sitting there going, yeah, but it took Klopp 4 years. It didn't take Klopp 4 years at all. The guy finished fourth in his second season. Then that first season in the Champions League, he got into the final.
Yeah.
Karius happened and Salah got injured. Do you know what I mean? It's like these people don't engage their brains when they speak. Yeah, it's all just, oh, it took Klopp. I don't give two fucks about Liverpool. I'm not a Liverpool supporter. Yeah, well done to them. Good luck to them. Fantastic what they're doing. I genuinely don't really care. Yeah, and to compare Arsenal to Liverpool, yeah, I'm sorry, mate. That manager came into Liverpool and he'd come off at the back of winning back-to-back titles. Yeah, and then I remember our fans sitting on Twitter, sitting there going, oh, but he nearly relegated Dortmund. He nearly relegated Dortmund because they totally capitulated after they won the second title, right? And they were right down the bottom of the table when he left. Right, so why is it now, all these years later, oh, but it took Klopp 4 years? What, the same Klopp you said nearly relegated Dortmund, you weirdos? They're making minds up.
As well, Manchester United have now got a proper manager in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And I think you'll see Man United, being the massive club they are, seriously investing in new talent this summer. And I make a prediction. Right, Man United will be above Arsenal next season, and they will be competing. I'm not saying they're going to win the league, but they will be competing because that is the ambition of Manchester United, and they've got a proper manager going in there. Whereas we have, and I totally agree with what you said, Kenny, is that I don't doubt that Arteta is a very, very talented and gifted coach, but I think to me he has proven that he has a problem with controlling players, hence the reason a very senior player who had discipline issues, and he had discipline issues before in Aubameyang. They obviously had a clash of heads, and it was like, you know, simple, like, you're not playing anymore and you're going in the January transfer window. And he's done that, like Guendouzi. You know what Guendouzi did at the Brighton game, when he got sent off, and after that was him gone. And I'm sad to say, I think this summer we'll see Pepe gone. Clearly, to me, Pepe doesn't fit the bill for what Arteta wants, which I think is a disgrace. But that's so be it. But my concern is, who is he going to get in to replace him? I think Lacazette will go, and I think he should go. I think his time is done.
100%.
And as you said, Kenny, Eddie Nketiah is not good enough.
He's not. He's not. I don't understand. I don't understand the narrative. What it is, and the thing about it is that if Eddie Nketiah stays, then are you still going to keep Balogun? Surely, if you give him Balogun and like I said, a new contract last year, that he is going to be the future of the club, and he's going to be like first reserve. And that the reason why you set him alone at Middlesbrough is him to learn his trade. Now, if you keep Eddie Nketiah and you keep Balogun, you might as well, if you're going to give him a new contract, you've got to sell Balogun, surely. Because surely we're going to be getting a couple of new forwards, which we need. I mean, because that was the point of giving Mikel Arteta, because Mikel Arteta said yesterday, in order for Arsenal to compete, and I think what he meant was that in order for us to get better players, we need to be in the Champions League. So it wouldn't make sense to keep Eddie Nketiah or Mohamed El Neni, no matter how nice they are as people and how much of a pleasure it is to work with them. Surely we have to evolve as a football club, because successful clubs always, whether we like it or not, you know, act in a very ruthless manner. The biggest, obviously, I go back loads of years. Everyone used to say Howard Kendall in that Everton side. If you look at this
Yeah.
Everton side of in '85,
Mm.
it's a lot. It is a lot different to the Everton side that won the league 2 years later in '87. It's different. There were certain players in that '85 team and '85 squad that he didn't need, so he went and replaced them. You know, because you know, he realised that these players can get me that far, but in order for me to stay ahead, I need to get someone else. Liverpool used to do it, and Sir Alex was the most ruthless man ever. Look what he did to Jim Leighton. Remember that FA Cup final with Jim Leighton?
Yeah.
First game, he was a liability when Ian Wright scored a couple of good goals. Replay, Les Seeley came in. Les Seeley's not a patch on Jim Leighton, but Sir Alex Ferguson needed to win a trophy in order to keep his job. So let Jim Leighton have a go.
Sorry to jump in, but
Yeah.
Newcastle United, right? Let's not forget they're going to be spending big money because they don't come under the fair play laws at the moment.
Exactly.
So they've got unreal amounts of money to spend, and they will be out sniffing around. And there's going to be other teams that, unfortunately, in my belief, and you know, it's not a personal hatred for Arteta. I just do not believe he has the attraction to bring in top players. Now we know the Arsenal way this summer will be attracted to every player in Europe.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it will be rumour. Every day it will be dropped. Arsenal linked with so-and-so. Arsenal linked with this bloke. And then it never happened because behind the scenes, the other big issue we've got is we've got two clowns who I believe can't negotiate sod all.
Exactly.
And, you know, oh, well, look, yeah, okay, we're interested in so-and-so and that team wants 85 million for him. What do Arsenal do? Oh, we'll offer you 52 and Nketiah can go, you know, go as a part of the deal. This doesn't happen. You know, we've got to be a big noise at this transfer window. And I've said this before, that players talk to each other. It's an elite sport. They talk, I'm sure, to, you know, like in the clubs, Aubameyang. If you've got like Aubameyang now and Arsenal are interested in one of those Barcelona players, right? What do you think he's going to say to him? No, you don't want to go there, mate. And that has a big influence on. It could be a young player that we're looking at from them, and he's going to say, "No, you don't want to go there, mate." You know, and so that's that one out the way, isn't it? So that door's shut, and this is my big concern. All right, if we get Champions League, and it looks like we probably will, and I love European football, but I don't want to be there to get piped. I don't.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing. You know, that last time with Bayern Munich, getting stuffed 5-1. You know, it's just disgraceful. So that is my concern, that what's going to happen.
100%. And you're spot on about Newcastle, by the way. You know, I think a lot of people are relying on financial fair play. Yeah, they can spend whatever they want as long as the books are balanced in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so they could go out and do 300 million this summer. Don't matter. Yeah, as long as they balance it in the next 3 years, who cares?
Yeah, so if they win trophies, they will. If they win trophies, like I think they will, they will.
They're going to get all the sponsorship deals in. Success brings in money. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea's got one of the biggest commercial like revenue streams in world football. Why? Because they keep winning and winning and winning and winning and winning.
City. It's like, you know, I was talking about the globalization of our great game has enabled all the big clubs to get, you know, big players, you know, like I said, of a higher standard. But let's not remember, only the successful clubs and the clubs of repute are going to get that money. You know, clubs like, dare I say it, Leicester City won't get that money, but they might because they won the league. So that's what we're trying to say, is that with a lot of our global fan base, we can lose a lot of global fans to Newcastle. We've lost some to Man City. We've lost to loads in London and Chelsea. We've got to keep winning. We can't just be, like I said, thinking about, oh yeah, but it's the Arsenal. Oh, it'll never happen to us. Of course, it's going to happen to us. A lot of people right now are probably texting me that's saying, "Look, calm down. The only reason why we gave this manager a 3-year contract is in order to protect our position. It's a good business move in case someone tries to poach him."
I've seen a lot of people saying that. Right? Yeah. Please name me one club in world football that is looking to poach Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, but that's the narrative. A lot of people.
It's not like they're queuing up for him, is it?
No.
Yeah, and they did this at Man United with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They gave him a new contract. Why? Who's queuing up to get Ole as their manager? Who's queuing up to get this guy as their manager? Right? I've seen people saying, "Oh yeah, but it's clever." Even he said it in his interview. That we wanted clarity as a football club going into the summer transfer window. Motherfucker, you still had a year left on your contract. Yeah, how much more clarity do you need? Yeah, I'm the manager for the next 12 months at least. Why have they renewed it now? I'll tell you exactly why they've renewed it now. Yeah, because the target, which they didn't want to tell us at the start of the season, they all swerved the question. The target was get back in Europa League. If we get Champions League, that is an overachievement. That was the club target. Yeah, now we're mathematically in Europa League. Bang, there's your contract. What was damning for me was when he sat there. Right, I'm still not convinced because he's a compulsive liar, Arteta. But when he sat there and said they offered me the contract after the 3 losses, yeah, if that is true, that tells you all you need to know about this football club. They also sat there. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was either Edu or Vinay said it. Maybe it was Arteta. I don't know. And said that I think it was Vinay. Yeah, it was Vinay. Yeah, the ambition of the football club comes from the owners. Yeah, and this is what he was saying yesterday. The ambition of the football club comes from the owners. Well, there you go. They didn't buy the club to win a fucking trophy. You've already said that. Yeah. People are backing this. Anyone who is Arteta in is Kroenke in. Fact. You cannot be Kroenke out, but then suck off the manager that Kroenke's employed.
Yeah, but they do, though. But they do, because simple reasons.
And that's my point. They are the problem.
Yeah, but the thing with our fans is that they think it's 2 separate entities because they all see it as Arteta has his hands tied behind his back. That's why he's not being able to perform at the level that Lee Gunner and Jez Collins wants. It's not Arteta's fault. It's down to the board not giving him enough backing, tying his hands behind the back, because they said the same thing about Wenger. They were telling people, like all 3 of us.
So if that's the case, why
focus your anger elsewhere at the board rather than the manager? And that's the thing. That you, in their eyes, you can be pro Arteta and still be against Stan Kroenke, because
why aren't they
protesting? I don't think a lot of them. Yeah, but you do know a lot of Arsenal fans have come up to me and told me in confidence, and because it's in confidence, I won't name them. Sorry, Lee. But they've told me that they are Arteta out, but they generally do not believe, like us, that he's going to get us be the man to win us the league. But they want stability at the football club, and that they feel that he could take us to a level where he can leave us with good foundations for a bigger manager to take us over. Now that is the narrative of what people.
Yeah, but that's the narrative from the level-headed fan that wants to be seen online as the level-headed, super positive. That then offline they tell the truth. Yeah, and
it's not the truth. I think what it is a lot of people.
I know you know a few of these people, yeah, right, and they're coming up to you at grounds and stuff like that. I'm sorry, mate. They're the fucking worst of the worst, because they, most of them run a podcast, I'd imagine, or have a YouTube channel.
Well, I can't confirm or deny that.
Right, and they have a following, of fairly decent size, most of these people, and they're lying to all of their fucking followers. Yeah, because then in group chats and offline, I've seen it firsthand. Yeah, I'm not going to name names, but I've seen it firsthand in group chats and at games when I was back in England. Yeah, people say, "Oh yeah, I want him out," but then on their Twitter account or their YouTube channel or their Instagram, "Oh, he's the best." Yeah, they're the worst fan. Yeah, because they're lying and duping all of their followers into thinking that they're something they're not. Yeah, and for me, that is not what you're supposed to be doing if you want to be a voice on social media. You're supposed to be sitting there telling your actual opinion. Yeah, surely that's why people have social media, to
give their social media can be lucrative. But Lee, you got to remember that a lot of people run YouTube channels for a lot of reasons. You know, being a successful YouTuber and a successful blogger is probably just the same sort of percentages and fine lines as it is being a successful actor or maybe a performer on a sports field. Only few people will make it. Only few people are going to get traction. But people do know the right way to be. And at the moment, successful YouTubers, especially of our great club, or people who just want an audience, you know, we've evolved from people telling the truth. What people need to do is follow the club lines. Everyone knows that the club watch all of our YouTube channels. They watch all of our content. The club, the club, we pork chops not to do that. The fact that they've made Louis Dunford, is that his name, into an important figure, and they said that his song's important is because of social media. They listen, they watch. They know you are Lee. They know you are Jez.
Yeah.
Trust me, they don't really acknowledge you at matches, but they know everything you say about them. They knew who DT was. They knew who Truth was. They know
all the
who
podcasts.
Mr. Lowe is.
They've got
They know everywhere because
social media team at the football club that troll through social media. I'll give an example. When we played our last game against West Ham, why was it when they put the starting 11 out on Twitter, Mohamed El Neni was on the picture? Yeah, because they know everyone's gushing in their pants over Mohamed El Neni. Yeah, so they're going to put Mohamed. They're not going to put. They're not going to put Rob Holding on there, albeit he was man of the match. But at the time, nobody was mentioning Rob Holding's name. Nobody knew Ben White was going to be out injured. Nobody knew Rob Holding was playing. So they're not going to throw Rob Holding on there. When they put out the training ground clips and pictures, why is it? It's always Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, and Smith Rowe, because they know that our fans have their pants around their ankles for them 4 players. Yeah, so they know by watching social media all day, and like I said, every big club has a social media team dedicated to just watching what's online. Yeah, Man United employed Neil Ashton to be their PR guy. Yeah, come on. Yeah, it's mad, right? And people don't think.
Neil Ashton, he used to write for the Sun.
Yeah, he was the one. When he the one that said Mesut Ozil's nicking a living.
He's a Crystal Palace fan, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Man United's PR guy. Yeah,
wow.
They signed him up 2 years ago to be their PR guy. Yeah, and
wow, he's doing a great job, isn't he?
Yeah, but this is the thing, Kenny. Yeah, these football clubs are very fucking smart, right? And they watch and they see and they know, right? Maybe the Cronkies don't, yeah, because that's too high up. But yeah, but it filters all the way down. Edu, Vinay, maybe Arteta, the players, they will see a lot of what's on social media. Yeah, and if they don't, then they're being told what's on social media because the club are watching it. Yeah, maybe not watching every stream I do, or Curtis or AFTV or Turkish or whoever, but they will be watching bits and pieces. They'll be watching Twitter accounts. You know, they'll be watching and searching names of players on Twitter and seeing what the general consensus is. They'll be reading the comments underneath every tweet they put out on Arsenal Twitter. They'll be reading it on Instagram. Yeah, because they've got somebody dedicated to doing that, or a group or a whole office full of people doing that. So when they put their stuff out on match days, yeah, like I said with El Neni, why was it El Neni on the front? Because everyone has literally been jizzing over Mohamed El Neni's performances. Yeah, so now, bang, Mohamed El Neni's in. Now, go and read all the comments on that tweet. Oh, yes, the Egyptian prince, the best Egyptian in the league. Oh, we've got El Neni. Oh, blah. So now it's all positive, isn't it? Yeah, they're smart at what they do. Yeah, all of this marketing and PR, they know exactly what they're doing because they've got the best people in the planet doing it. Yeah, and Man United do the same. They're the only 2 clubs that I've seen in the Premier League anyway, right? They're the only 2 clubs that are more interested in marketing and PR, yeah, than they are winning. Yeah, you don't see shitty little teams down the bottom of the table doing all this crap. Yeah, it's only Man United, and Man United fans are just as bad as Arsenal fans. Yeah, and again, it comes back to why do you support Man United or Arsenal? You support them because they were winning trophies. Yeah, now fast forward all these years, why don't you want to win them anymore? Yeah, because you only supported us because of trophies. Yeah, the gold trophy or Fergie winning a treble. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what has changed that you now don't want to win another trophy, another title? What has changed? Because you only supported Arsenal because of Wenger winning that gold trophy. Why didn't you go and support Blackburn? Yeah, you didn't support Blackburn because they weren't winning. You said something earlier, Kenny, about we've lost a generation of fans. Yeah, to Chelsea. We've probably lost 2 generations of fans to Chelsea. Yeah, because and Man City's fan base is getting bigger and bigger every day. You know, like Newcastle's fan base will go global at some point. Yeah, obviously they've got overseas fans, but it'll get onto a bigger level because they will start being successful. Yeah, and when you're growing up as a kid, 9 times out of 10, you'll support a football team that is winning. Yeah, so then you can have bragging rights in the playground. Yeah, so why is it when you then become an adult, actually, no, it don't matter about winning anymore? Well, the only reason you support us, mate, is because that gold fucking trophy. Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense to me. And then people like us get cussed every day because we actually hold that club to that standard. Yeah, the standard that was deemed good enough for them to start supporting it in the first place. Makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. But what do we know? We're just negative, mate.
Well, that's the thing. See, that's the thing that I find really frustrating. I am not negative. I'm not negative. It is not personal. I want Arteta out. I want my football club, the club I've supported all my life, to win. I want. I was brought up seeing Arsenal win. You know, Christ, I was fortunate enough to see the first double. A major thing in my life. And the thing with Arsenal, it's ups and downs. It always has been. But we win a league and we don't ever then invest to continue like Man United did, like Liverpool did back in their heydays. Yeah, they won the league and they'd go and do it again. And they'd go and do it again. Not wait 17 bloody years to do it. And, here we are entering the next season and we'll have broken that record. Yeah, the longest time in Arsenal's history since they first won a league trophy, and we aren't going to win it. I don't believe we'll win it next year.
And then it's mad, really, because the amount of money we've spent, right, is actually insane. Somebody put in my chat the other day the net spend, which technically isn't a thing, but players in, players out. Yeah, you balance it, just players in, players out. Okay, yeah. Chelsea have spent about, I think, 95 million quid more than us. Yeah, in the last, I think it was the last last 10 years, I think it was. Yeah, last 10 years the guy put it in. If the guy's in the chat, I can't remember who it was. Can you put it in again? But I think it was like 90 or 100 million net more Chelsea has spent in the last 10 years than us. And people say we can't compete. Well, we can, can't we? Yeah, we spend money on Granit Xhaka, Mustafi, yeah, players like that, yeah, that are not good enough.
Hold on, Granit Xhaka's our midfield, by the way.
Well, yeah, but this is
there's no one with a better left-footed midfield than him. Remember that.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva don't exist. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Riyad Mahrez don't exist. Yeah, Salah's a winger, so is Mahrez, I suppose. But
we spent 52 million on a below-average defender.
Mate, Rob Holding is better than Ben White. I don't care what anyone tells me. He is better than Ben White.
Don't you agree?
Yeah, he is. He's genuinely a better defender than Ben White.
Because he's a defender. Yeah. Ben White, when you talk about football, and Rio Ferdinand sort of articulated it very, very well, although he was probably a Ben White himself. Nowadays, it's just like managers look at defenders, and the first one they want, especially managers like Mikel, are they good on the ball? Can they bring the ball out? It's a David Luiz syndrome. Before that, Rio Ferdinand, to the extent that managers stopped Rio Ferdinand from bringing the ball out. Glenn Hoddle thinks that Rio Ferdinand never achieved his full potential because Glenn Hoddle wanted Rio Ferdinand to be someone like Franz Beckenbauer. It's those sort of defenders are what catch the eye. You meet and pieces defenders like your Lewis Dunks who win headers, tackle, get tight. Because they get turned a lot or because they can't bring the ball out, they're not the ones who are going to go for sexy figures. But they're actually the sort of defenders we actually need. But players like Ben White are a premium. They are sought after because they're good on the ball.
Yeah.
But this is what I find funny, right? It's like people are lulled up this Ben White, yeah, because a lot of people in the chat are saying that he's a good footballer. Well, I'm yet to see he's a good footballer. And first and foremost, his job is to defend, and the guy can't defend. Yeah, I've seen enough of that guy this season to know he ain't a good defender. Yeah, Norwich, when we beat him 1-0 at home, last minute of the stoppage time, he literally pulled his foot up as the ball is in the 6-yard box coming across the box, and Timo Pukki nearly equalised. Yeah, well, didn't you know Pukki was behind you, mate? Yeah, Lewis Graben scoring the goal against us for Nottingham Forest. Rob Holding was playing left centre back that day. Yeah, the ball's down position side, and he sucked over towards Rob Holding, but he'd already looked at Cedric getting overtaken by Graben. Why didn't he go and close that angle down? Instead, he went over there. Yeah, if you go and have a look at the Crystal Palace game, Mateta Where was he for that goal? Because he was literally goal side of the guy, right next to him. Yeah, should have known. Instead, he's ball watching and getting sucked in. Yeah, against Liverpool, absolute shambles. Yeah, the guy can't defend. I don't know what people are seeing in that guy to think he's a good defender, because he ain't.
Well, that's down to the Mikel Arteta's got to iron this out, because he's invested a lot of money in him, and whether we like it or not, you know, there are going to be instances, and you know, within a football match where he is going to be the last man. They're going to be like corner routines, or I think what it is, right, is that when we're probably the best at defending set pieces, probably in the business, but from open play, that's where our problems are defensively, especially where we're making a lot of mistakes. And I think that's probably because we do miss Thomas Partey. I mean, whether we like it or not, and some people may not agree with me or not, Thomas Partey is a massive, massive miss for us, especially since it's come. We're winning games in spite of you know, some of these players. Because I'll tell you one thing, Thomas Partey was in that team, we'll probably win it. We'll be top 4 by now. And that's not an exaggeration. I think people don't realise how great he was for us from January until the time he got injured. He was like $1 million. He was showing his Atletico Madrid form, you know.
Absolutely, can't disagree with you there.
But don't you think it's a damning indictment of this manager and this football club's transfer policy? The fact that we went all out for Thomas Partey and got him, right, after Unai Emery wanted him, by the way, and weren't allowed him. But we gave him to this guy. But don't you think as soon as we get that one player out of that team, everything's like a little bit all over the place? Don't you think that's a bit?
Well, they could point to Kieran as well, Kieran Tierney as well, because they've got Kieran
like,
Tierney.
If you take Van Dijk and Fabinho out of Liverpool, they're not going to capitulate. They're not going to lose 3 in a row. They're still going to compete.
Because they've repaired the damage of last season when they did lose Matip, Gomez, and thing. They relied on players like Phillips and Williams in centre halves, or what they did is they played Fabinho and Henderson centre halves, which murdered their midfield. So I think what Liverpool done, and it's all about the sort of thing we're talking about, the evolutionary process, where, you know, the reason why Liverpool are still competing with Man City is because they have evolved. Like, if you look at their front three with Fabinho, Salah and Mane, now they've got a front 5, which includes Jota and Diaz. So they've improved that. In midfield, that's improved as well. And then obviously in centre halves, they've got cover in every position in centre half. You know, the right centre half or left centre half. They've got players who can bring the ball up. They've got a massive geezer in Canute, who makes me look like
again, look how cheap they got him for, Kenny. 40 million quid, and we went and done an extra 10 on Ben White. Yeah, William Saliba, right? And like, big up to everyone in the chat watching. There's still over 900. Make sure you subscribe to Jez's channel. It's pinned in the live chat. Yeah, big up to
give Jez a watch. He's brilliant
as well. Yeah, big up, man. Big up to everybody watching this. But this is the thing. It's like, you know, we've done 50 million on the centre back. William Saliba, we done what, 27 million quid on. Yeah, and he was deemed too good for that league. Yeah, hence why we bought him. He'd had 2 seasons playing first team football at St Etienne.
I've said don't rate him, though, Lee. But as much as you seen as the worst can have 10. Yeah, but Lee and Jez, you can have 10,000 debates on William Saliba, and I think we have had about 10,000 debates. Not just you, like I said, exclusively, but this has been shared about on every YouTube channel on Arsenal content. The fact is, Mikel Arteta doesn't rate him. We just have to accept that.
He'll be back?
We have to cut our losses and sell him.
You think we'll sell him, yeah?
We have to. We have to, because simple reasons that if the theme since January this year has been balancing the books and balancing the books by getting people with a wage bill. And William is one of those players, whether we like it or not. You know, if Arteta rated him, he would be playing now. He doesn't rate him.
No, that's the thing. Same as Pepe. It's quite clear he doesn't rate Pepe.
No. But don't you think that's weird though? Because like, that's £100 million worth of player there. 2 players, yeah, 100 million, right? Both of them players.
Pep Guardiola. Remember, he's Pep Guardiola in terms of his mentality that he's a micromanager of his players in every aspect of their careers on off the field. Now, if these guys do not follow and carry out his instructions to letter, they don't play. Pep does that at City. So this guy's no different to Pep with mentality, not the style of play. And we've seen this on many occasions. Why that's happening? I can't see any reason why how Milan Saliba can have a career at a football club whilst Mikel Arteta is the manager. I can't see it. I really can't.
No, listen, mate. Let me ask both of you guys this and the chat as well. Yeah, Saliba was deemed not good enough. Too good for that league after having 2 seasons there. Right, he comes to Arsenal. He plays 45 minutes against MK Dons. We've never seen him again. Right now, the narrative is, but he needs to go out to get experience. Right, so he's gone out to get experience. Well, he was already too good for that league in the first place, which is why we bought him. Right? Now we've put him back in that league. Yeah. Right. Do you genuinely think, that? No, let me ask you this instead. How many Premier League teams out of the 20, including us, how many Premier League teams do you think William Saliba gets in right now? First team.
Out of all
the only 2 teams he don't get in are the top 2.
I was just going to say, I
think he gets in at Chelsea.
I was going to say Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. To be fair, but I could quite easily, Lee. I could quite easily see Saliba. Because I think you're quite right. I think he'll be gone in the summer. Because Kenny said it. I believe it. That Arteta doesn't want him. I could see somebody like Newcastle coming in, snipping him.
That'd be fun to watch. Look at that.
They'll come in and he'll probably go for something like 12, 15 million, something like that. And he'll
I'll bite their hands off.
And Pepe, I could see Newcastle coming in for Pepe. And ended up there and then coming back playing against Arsenal and showing us actually he is a decent player.
It's actually funny because a lot of people that don't rate Pepe rate Saint Maximin, which I find hilarious because that guy is the most frustrating footballer in the world. He's got all the skills.
They say that about. I think the problem with a lot of these players is like it's a kind of sort of old school coaching, like sort of kind of phrase. Where's the end product? And I think you probably see that with Saint Maximin, and maybe our dear manager sees that with Nicola Pepe. Because every time I watch Nicola Pepe play, especially now we're live at the grounds, I always look at the manager when Nicola Pepe's on the ball, and I look at the man, and I always look at the manager when off the ball, and he's always micromanaging him and telling him what to do. Now that's not an exaggeration. So clearly there's something he wants from Nicola that he can't get yet. Another thing as well, I think what's happened is he probably feels he don't need Nicola because, he feels he can't win football matches without Saka's presence on the field.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Actually crazy. We do have a game tomorrow. Before we wrap this up, massive respect to everybody who's watched this stream. Still 900 here. Make sure you are subscribing. I'm done for the day after this. So there will not be no other stream today. I'm going to sit and watch some of the footy on the patio.
Which one's that? Crystal Palace, Watford?
Yeah, I'm going to top my tan up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm in the mud, mate, so I might as well sit and bask in the ambience. Yeah. But make sure you subscribe to Jez's channel. It's pinned to the live chat. Big up to everyone who's put a super chat in as well. I do appreciate it. Even if I don't read them, I do thank you in the comments. So thank you very much. Big up to my guy as well, whose name I can't pronounce. Saliba under a good manager will be worth 60 mil. Same as Guendouzi, mate. Guendouzi was valued at 50 mil under Unai Emery. Now we've let him go for about 9 mil. It's mad, isn't it? But we have got a game tomorrow, Leeds United. Jez, confident?
I'm going to stick my head on the chopping block. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal.
Interesting. Very interesting. And Kenny, what about you, mate? You're obviously going to be at the game. It's at home.
You know what?
You can have live and direct of that new song, mate.
Yeah.
Just because you learn the lyrics, mate, you can sing along.
Well, the thing about it is that the kind of like I said, how do I say it? I wouldn't say litmus test, but I'd say the confirmation is if we're handing out song sheets. Now, if we hand out song sheets, then it's official. It is the club's official song. Because let's not face it, Jason, we've all been there at big finals and semi-finals where they hand us out song sheets and in the colours of we're going to wear for that particular game. As well as wearing like little T-shirts as well signifying that day. So if we're handing out song sheets tomorrow, then Lee, it's our official song. But you know, I haven't heard the song, and I haven't heard it before. It could be a good song, but I prefer singing "Good Old Arsenal." We go out singing that name. That's good enough for me.
My favourite one was the one when we used to do the one I've got in my little video, the James one, "Sit Down."
Sit down.
Yeah.
But this is the thing.
Sorry, Ian. Ian, I'll sing a bit of reggae if you want, and I'll sing maybe a few, like the Nigerian rap songs. But I'm not singing that song. Sorry, mate, Ian.
You've got to do it, Kenny. Go Instagram and stick it on there. So you singing the song, mate.
If they give me a song sheet, I'll have a go.
I'll send you the lyrics, mate.
No, I want a song sheet. I want a song sheet, and I'll think about it. But you know, like talking about the game, I do think that it's a game that I'm actually quite looking forward to because Leeds have to get something for this game. They've got Calvin Phillips, who's like going to be playing tomorrow, and you know what? He is available for transfer if Leeds get relegated. And I don't see any reason why Thomas Partey and Calvin Phillips can't be in my little crystal ball for next season as a midfield partnership.
Oh, you don't rate Calvin Phillips, do you?
I never said I did, but what I'm saying about Calvin Phillips, he is available. He's available, isn't he?
Yeah, mate. I can't have somebody with a funky Barnett like that running around midfield, mate. No thanks.
Hey, what about that geezer who used to play for Nottingham Forest? He was on, they think it was on the Bedil and Skinner show with Stato.
What's his name? What's his fucking name?
Jason Lee. Jason Lee, yes, Jason Lee. Yeah, but Jason Lee's a better footballer than this guy I'll ever be. You sure about that?
Yes. Calvin Phillips is shit, mate. I do not rate that guy. The only reason people rate him is because of his haircut. That's it. Yeah. Because it looks different, doesn't it? It's like, oh, look at him. Like, oh, he's done his hair. It's like,
yeah, but in terms of the game itself,
somebody needs to chop that off.
In terms of the game itself, both sides have to win. Both sides have to win. Yes. Arsenal have to win. Doesn't matter whether it's regardless of what happens at Anfield late at 7:45 today. If Arsenal have to win, if Spurs win, Arsenal definitely have to win. If Spurs lose, Arsenal definitely have to win because they need to be in control of their passage into the top four. It's not negotiable. Forget about third place. Forget about catching Chelsea. Let's just stick to what we have in plan, which is the top four.
Yeah, I actually
think banana skin for Arsenal is going to be the Newcastle game.
Oh, they're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a major banana skin, that one.
Yeah, better team, better manager, and better players now, isn't it?
This Leeds game is going to be difficult, if I'm honest. Yeah,
I think I've just got a gut feeling it's going to be 2-0.
I watched them against Man City, and albeit City slapped them in the end 4-0. On another day, Leeds would have had 2 or 3 goals. They were ripping City apart at times. Yeah, and a real end-to-end game as well. But City's class just showed through.
We're not as good as City, though, is it? So I suppose I can understand like your kind of.
I still think we'll win. I think we'll win. But
we will win. Yeah, we're not capable of keeping clean sheets, are we?
No. Even though he's fixed the defence.
Yes. Right,
let me just come to this comment. How can you predict it's 3 years of dross when we're progressing this year? Let me say something, Callum. Yeah, I don't know how old you are, mate. Yeah, but if you think going 5 years backwards by going 8th and 8th, yeah, to then go back to 4th is progress, I'm sorry, mate. You need to raise the standards from off the floor, mate. Yeah, because it looks like progress because he took us so far backwards for the last 2 years. Yeah, so it looks like progress, doesn't it? Yeah, how is it progress compared to what we were doing under Wenger? It ain't, is it? Yeah, we smashed the stadium down to be the best in the world. We then spent 20 years chatting, or 15 years chatting absolute bollocks about top 4. Then he's took us 8th and 8th, got us out of Europe. He's struggling to get us back in the top 4. It's still not done yet. Yeah, after playing 1 game a week, knocking us out of the FA Cup in the 3rd round. And now, if he does get top 4, it's back to the level that I was protesting and Kenny was protesting that weren't good enough. Yeah, so sorry, raise the standards, my guy. Yeah, because we were on marches and protests against Arsene Wenger getting fourth. It's the 4th ain't a trophy, mate.
Well, you've got what we have, Lee, is that some people now are so have so much disquiet about our current coach that they're thinking, they're saying it wasn't this bad against Arsene Wenger. They'll take Wenger back. Now, me, it's non-negotiable. I don't want Arsene Wenger in
You sound
any.
like Arteta, non-negotiable.
No, not too funny, right? But my non-negotiable is Arsene Wenger having any influence on any footballing decision at his football club. Once you're gone, you're gone.
Let me ask you both this as well, right? If Arsene Wenger was our manager at the start of the season with this squad that we currently have, where do you think we'd finish?
Third.
I agree. What about you, Kenny?
He's a very good motivator of players. But the problem is that with Arsene Wenger, I think it'll probably be about fourth or fifth. Because remember, one of the biggest complaints we had about Arsene Wenger was his game preparation, and the fact that we felt he's been left behind tactically. So those are still the same complaints I had before. So, but one thing is you can't deny our home record was fantastic under Arsene Wenger.
Yeah.
Even against teams that used to pipe us away from home, we were very, very difficult to beat.
We used to do well against Liverpool, didn't we?
Yeah, we always try to win every game, and I think even though the football had towards the end had no discernible structure, it was still on the front foot. So if you play attacking football, wins. So Arsene Wenger would definitely have got us, in this position, probably a lot more comfortably than Mikel's doing right now. No doubt, he'd been motivated to play. It's Wenger. We're going to play for him.
Mate, Pepe would be balling under Arsene Wenger. I can't lie.
Well, Pepe, like attacking players like Pepe would love it under Arsene Wenger because he was just say, go out and play without instructions, and Pepe would play his best football.
100%. Big up to everyone who's watched live, man. There's still 900 here. Make sure you smash the likes up. We're currently sat on 313 likes. That's a shambles.
Come on, man. 900 people watching, 900 likes. Come on, you know the score. Even those who are spying on us from other channels in order to come on. You love it really, mate. And I'll tell everyone who slags me off or slags us off. I said to one guy, he had a go about all three of us, because he was very upset with you, Jez, because you wanted to use violence against poor old Julian on AFTV. And he called us all sorts of, he said we were three miseries and we were numpties. And I said, mate, I know for a fact you watch our show every week. You went, yeah, it's because I want to see which one of you are going to flip-flop. I said, gotcha.
Yeah. Exactly.
Big up to this guy as well. Yeah, Jose Mourinho. It's funny how all them washed up managers have made it to finals of European competitions, isn't it? Ancelotti.
Would you claim the Conference League? Do you think Jose Mourinho would?
Oh, he's going to rub that in everyone's face if he wins it, mate.
Yeah.
And good luck to him. Yeah, he's going to be the first manager to win all three.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he's won the Europa League, the Champions League. He'll put it on the map. When he won the Europa League, now everyone takes it seriously, didn't they?
So who we supported, Feyenoord or Roma then?
Oh, Roma all day long. I love Jose, man. I love how he rattles people. I love how rude he is.
I love the guy as well. I think he's brilliant.
I think he's class, man. I love how he just, like, when he stood up in that Man United press conference and he went, you need to put some respect on my name. Three Premier Leagues. The rest of the managers, no. Calm down, and walked out. I was like, yeah, fucking. He was not the right fit for Man United in terms of the what they've been used to with like their managers. Yeah, he was too rude and raw for them, man. Yeah, that's
what they needed. That's actually what Man United need.
Someone like that. But let's be real. He was the last manager to win him a trophy, and he won them two. Yeah. And he finished second with that shit team that he had. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? But yeah, it's funny how he's got to that final.
It's funny what a decent manager can do, Lee, isn't it?
Well, it is, isn't it? And let's be real. Two of our players are on loan. Reece Nelson at Feyenoord, he's in the final against Maitland-Niles for Roma. It's amazing how so many of our players, and Guendouzi and Saliba got knocked out in the semi to Feyenoord.
I've got a big elephant for both of you. I've got a big elephant for both of you. The biggest elephant is he's 6'3", balling a Campbell stroke Peckham, and he's got over 20 league and cup goals for Roma. And you did. What do you think? Do you think that he's a player that we could have got this season? Would he made a difference, or do we stick to most of our positions? Think wouldn't be a good fit for us.
I'm not sure, to be honest. Like I do think he's got talent, yeah, but I think we can do something better than that, mate. Yeah, genuinely, I think.
Mate,
we
you,
can do-
Jason.
I think you can do better, mate. To be fair.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's just because it's a mass hurdle because we at that time, you know, I think we beginning to realise that, you know, the die was set with Aubameyang, that there was no way back after Arteta out with him, and basically repeated private in-house behaviour to the media. I thought, well, I wouldn't want to play for him either, and I thought that Lacazette, although I was one of those people who says that he works really hard and he gives us more than Aubameyang, how wrong was I? In hindsight, I think that this lad would have given us more. He definitely got us some goals because he knows his way around the goal.
Yeah, 100%. I think he'd improve on Lacazette, but I still think Abraham ain't that good. Big up to Andy Hart for the donation as well. We are going to wrap this up, people. Enjoy your Saturday. I'm going back to the patio to sit in mud.
You ain't going to watch any cricket? Anyone going to watch any cricket?
Mate, how can you watch cricket, man? 5 days they play for and it could end a draw. What's that all about?
Well, yeah, but the thing is, I'm watching, when I watch 5-day cricket, I watch people who bowl straight and bat straighter and wear whites.
Yeah.
That's cricket.
I can't be dealing with cricket, mate. Yeah, it's a bit too poncy for me. Oh, we're going for lunch. Yeah, like fucking turn it in. You know, why don't you just get the game done and dusted and go home?
True.
Yeah. Anyway, big up to everybody who's watched live. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to Jez's channel. It's pinned in the live chat. Big up to everyone who's dropped a donation in. Also, if you're watching on playback, you can actually donate on playback now. So that would trigger Top Gooners. So throw as many donations at me as you can. Yeah, because
donation gate, donations, profit of the loss.
Yeah, we're going to profit off
donations.
This podcast.
Lee's in the mud. Lee, how are you? Is Lee Dunner talk to himself because Arteta's got a new contract?
Yeah, mate, I'm fine. I'm actually fine. Big up to everyone who has donated on the playback as well. I've seen your comments. I've replied to you all. So thank you to the people that have dropped donations in after the stream's ended and stuff like that. But listen, all have a wonderful Saturday. Tomorrow I'll be back for the game an hour before kickoff, and Kenny will be at the game. We'll be doing fan cams, player ratings, etc., etc. So we'll have a nice weekend.
You know what? Before I go, right?
Come on,
Who is this? Like, basically, we've got 3 members of the Rat Army. What are actually our roles? Obviously, someone has to be the commander. So, who are we? The sort of first lieutenants of the Rat Army, then? After the commander.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Maybe we need to all get rat suits. Yeah, just all dressed
I
up as rats.
wonder who christened us the Rat Army. I wonder who called us the Rats.
Some prick in the nick, mate, who's picking up soap as we speak. And on that bombshell, yeah, the shit falls out these days. We're out of here. I'll take her out.
You prick.